Wi-Fi you got on now?
The one you right, change to the other one. It's just come up straight away now.
Right, go to the broadband speed checker.
I'm on live now. Oh, I'm back. Thank God for that. Excuse me, in case I hope I don't upset anybody there. Yeah, it was a nightmare. I had to change broadband settings. I've done it all now. I'm hoping that it's not too bad now. Right, let's see how we move on with this. I've just put this like little sort of propeller mark there. I'm just going to run it over here. If it cuts out on me, then there's not a lot I can do. I mean, we've gone onto the Wi-Fi booster and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. It may be difficult at this time. It always is on a weekend. It's sort of like it plays up at weekend, and it's so annoying. Because you're like, well, why does it always happen at weekend? But I suppose it's because everyone's on it, aren't they? You know, everybody's sort of messing around on it, and you're like, whoa. Alright, how are we doing, guys? Oh. Okay, let's get going a little bit now then. We've got a few people, so let me know how the screen goes, let me know how it looks. I'm right in front of a window. I'm not too sure. I don't think it's that, so I'm not too sure how it's looking for you. It looks okay on my screen, but there again, yeah, I mean, that don't matter, does it? Because it's not me. I'm not watching it. You are. Maybe my neighbour's using my Wi-Fi. Yeah. Well, I asked Mark to turn his off, so I've got a clear run at it. But we'll see, eh? We'll see. So all I've done is put that pattern on, which I don't really like, but it's just to get me up and running, because if I don't, I'll be here all day. As my mum would say, messing about. So I'm just going to look. And it was, I think, I like this pattern here. Right, so if I just show you where I'm going to do the pattern, can you see that square? Yeah, and I might even go into there and pull it out of that there, but I don't know just yet. Right, thanks Louise. It's okay Sylvia, really clear Emma, thank you. Yeah, I'm fighting with the light, but every time I put my hot light on to help, I think it strobes a little bit, so I'll leave it on. If it starts to strobe, I'll turn it off a little bit. So I quite like the idea of the square, and if I'm right in thinking it should be up there and not down there, so I'm just looking at that now, and I'm just going to go with by having them big lines in, I'm now able to draw where I need stuff without it overpowering everything else. Now I need to be out. Is that looking okay? It's buzzing. Thanks, Jane. Buzzing. Is it pixelating or? Right, okay. I'll try not to speak too near to it because I don't want to create. And then what I'm going to do is just draw a line. So all I'm doing is drawing a line between the two. I might leave that in. And this is a good way of what you're actually doing is taking a pattern out of. You're placing a pattern in somewhere, and it can be confusing because you're actually right. I'm losing all my ends here. How's that got off there? You're taking a pattern out and placing it somewhere else, so it looks different. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, do the whole thing like this, but I quite like the idea of having the squares in it. Now, if you was creating a stencil, you'd have to leave a line. Right, okay. Right, the light's gone off, you can tell. You'd need a line near it because you wouldn't be able to keep it in a stencil because it'd fall out if you didn't. You'd just end up with the whole thing. So you need an area, and I was thinking it'd be quite nice to leave an area between these, but a straight area. So again, you know, don't have to do it. If you're happy to go straight in with your pen, go straight in with your pen. But I do buy I do buy dot and square graph paper because it really does help me to draw. So here I'm going to draw similar lines, but just like that. Can you see? It's a really simple one. I'm going to repeat it there slightly bigger. So we've got like a mirror image. It's another thing you can do here. Use your pencil, pen, if you're ready. Go straight in. And here what we can do is just put in similar shape but offsetting. Get me? Okay, so on this shape you can leave it like this if you wish, or if you want to you can change that to a that. Now I quite like the idea of it a plus sign rather than, do you get me? I think that's quite nice, isn't it? But you can do an X. You could do an X all the way across there. So you can change all these lines to suit. So in the background, I might want, say, this here, another shape that's divided up into these shapes. Does that make any sense? I'm hoping it does because we've had a bit of a muck up today, haven't we? Where I've stop, start, just seen one magpie, just seen another one. So it's been a bit convoluting today. So I'm looking at this bit here and I'm thinking, right, I've got this here, so I'm going to use that shape. I hope this makes sense. And what I can do is I could see how this is the circle there. If I was to just you see how now I've got that now isn't on there, I can change it quite easily. So I did that to show you that it's quite an easy way to sort of go. So I could just make that shape now. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so now let's look at some other patterns. There is all I'm doing is I'm dividing this area half and half. So, and if you've got your little bit that I said cut, all you need to do with this is just go half and half, you know, like that. So you can look at it, half and half, that's a bit out. But so if you've got a ruler, or if you haven't got a ruler, you just cut a piece of paper the thickness that you need, and then cut it in half again, and then it don't matter about measuring it, you're just going to be half and half again, aren't you? Right, I've just been on last night, couldn't sleep properly, so I was watching this like FBI thing. It was saying like Hollywood murders, and it come across a saying, and it was mentioned this name, alfalfa. And I always used to remember my mum used to say, oh yeah, come here. She used to try and spit on her hanky or spit on her hand and get me fringe to lie down. And it was, you've got friends like alfalfa. I know who alfalfa is now. I was there going, oh, you know, I don't know if that's happened to you when you think, oh, I know where that name's come from now. But alfalfa, he weren't a nice guy. Well, he was, but he had some dodgy stuff happening anyway. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do diagonal lines, because I've got them there. I'm just going to do them there. Now you won't be able to get them all on, which is fair enough, but you can do as many as you choose. Now what I used to do when I was doing this is I used to do a grid paper, and I used to put grid paper down, make my own grids, then really thick black lines, not thick but quite heavy black lines, and then what I used to do was use that as my measuring like tool constantly, and it was really good because it did show up on a lot of surfaces, so it was my way of measuring everything the same, and it was really handy, that. So here what I've done is I've just gone outside there slightly, gone in there, and I'm going to go quite quickly that way, and I might finish it there and have another one there. I think I'll finish it there. Get my little line there to show you. Get this. So I've got this happening here, and I like this because you could stitch, you could do anything you want, you know. If you wanted to do straight patterns there, now you could. So what I mean by that is you could do a pattern that goes across like that, so you've got shapes within shapes there. So you've got a diamond there and a diamond there, and then you could put another diamond in it if you want, or a diamond that way. It's there we go, just putting the lines down. And they'd be right out, so it wouldn't really matter there, but you just see these ones. So quite like that. This one I think I'll do the opposite way now, so it's sort of similar but opposite, and then that shape and not that shape. I'm getting a lot of on my hand, can you see, rubbing out, so I'm just going to be conscious of that when I'm setting up these designs. So here I'm just going to draw that line in, draw that line in. You can cross them over. Do I want that? No. So there we go. I'm just going to do it this way because I don't want to mess about. Okay, so now we've got diamonds. So what you can do is do a V that way. So if you wanted to, you could do lines all the way down. I'm not doing lines all the way down, I'm just doing them by eye. So the dissecting like that. Okay, so we've got like a stitch there. So then what I'm going to do is put I might go straight in with a pen next. There we go. Can you just see that pattern happening now? So if you wanted to, you could put a pattern in between, like a little circle there, and that just fills that up. But we could put, when we put in different colours and whatnot, we can change that. Now here, I'm looking at this and thinking, I quite like the idea of this going to that circle bit there. So I'm just going to continue it. Now, I know it would be sort of like that. So I can just sort of make it all up. Well, not make it up, but do you know what I mean? You'd sort of see that bit of it and that bit of it. So, and then rub that out, because that's in my circle. Do you get me? So I'm keeping that pattern within my circle. That's it. And then I'm going to put a pattern here. So I think I quite like that being in there though. Right, so another pattern. So I quite like the idea of right, and I'm going to draw freehand circles over everything. Right, so what I'm going to do is freehand over everything like that, and then rub out what I don't need. Yes, that's a really good. Hi Malcolm. Yeah, that's a really good idea like that. I always start like that, but it never ends like that. Do you know what I mean, Emma? It doesn't end like that. So I've got that there. Now in this, because I've got this part and pattern here, I'm going to put another circle, but I'm going to change where it is. Now muscle memory, remember, the same size. So and again, can you see how I'm placing the dot within the middle at different sections? So it's the same concept. It's circles, but it's actually not quite the same. So then, in order to make that, he's a fat. That's a male magpie. So in order to match that up, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go in with my pen now, and I'm using an 01, which might be a little bit too light for you to see. So I'll go in. No, brush is too heavy. Where's them other ones I've just had? There we are. So I'm going to go in with a 5, I think it is. Yeah, my good old trusty 5. And I'm going to go straight in with this first line. Try not to stop, because then you'll get a jaggedy line. Take time. when you're stopping and starting, so that you don't get chuddery lines. That's it. So now I can rub out a lot of these lines, because a lot of these lines are superfluous, whatever it is. I can't say it. Superfluous. Don't need them anymore. Surplus to requirement. That's what I mean about having a sort of guide underneath that has a sort of pattern that you can follow, and then you don't feel like that you're having to draw all these lines, because this has put a lot of people off drawing all these lines. I mean, it doesn't me, because I enjoy drawing. I can't speak. Enjoy drawing freehand, angular, circular. It doesn't matter to me. If I'm in the mood and moodling's on the table, then I've got to do it, and it doesn't matter either way. I'm being creative. I'm happy. That's why I did this in pencil first and continued it, because if I don't, I'm more likely to make up lines, and I don't want to do that. I want to try and keep the continuity going. So here, right, okay, so now I think I'm going to change this, and I'm going to do, right, so it's line, zigzag up, line, zigzag up. Like a Sputnik. Oh, that's an odd one there, but never mind. No one will see it. Well, they will now. I've told you, won't they? Yeah, so alfalfa. Not that that matters. So here, what you can do now is just bring in to the edge of where your circle is. And then if they overlap, that's fine. I'm going to leave them overlapping. If they don't, then they don't. Just going to make them sort of fit. Oh, I quite like that. Can you see? It looks really funky with your eyes. Intricate. I suppose it is a little bit, but what I've been doing is messing about with the internet, because it's been a bloody nightmare. In and out like a lines. I know it doesn't look as sort of heavy duty, whereas before it was like, oh, where's she going with that? But no harsh lines that are sort of finishing it and ending it there and starting it there. So I quite like the idea of that. And hin here. in this bit here, I'm just going to put little lines like that, and then I just need to rub that bit there, get rid of that. See how I like that, it's coming together now. There's no fixed and heavy lines, but I needed the lines so I could do the patterning. Now it makes sense. It probably didn't before. And then I'm going to go to this bit here where it's gone a bit skew with. There we go. So here I'm going to change this, and I'm going to put a cross on those squares, so you won't see them all. You'll just see those parts. Now if you want to put like bits and bobs sort of through them, then, or extra, then that's fine, you do that. I'm just going to put these in there, and then when I rub out the other lines, you come about whichever lines you want. You're left with only like certain ones and not all of them, which, you know. So I'm just going to put these a bit nearer there, because, to be honest with you, that's a bit way out there. So here we've got a put a line in there. I hope you've all got nice plans. Oh, that sounds a bit daft, but I'm going to have to change that bit there because it looks a bit odd, but I quite like this now. So here, I'm just going to put in that bit, and that bit. I think I'll put in that bit as well, because I'm going to put a double wibbly line on there because I've just gone a bit skew with, but you know, when you go squiffy, all you do, put that on it. Let's get rid of the lines now. Lot softer, isn't it? Can you see? You don't need all that extra line now, but you do need it to start with. I mean, if you wanted to, there's nothing to stop you just adding bits now. This is the bit that I really enjoy, is when you sort of finish doing the main element and faffing, and then you sit back and you just think, oh, I could just put a little bit of circle there, or a triangle, or a square, or a bobble, or whatever, and fill up the space that way. And then it really is unique, because no one else has got it like that, you know, no one else has same pattern. So here, put my bubbles in, and on here as well. So if it comes to this, every now and again, a bobble, got to be done, get a bobble on it. And then we'll look at these shapes here. So we've got two sets of shapes. I've got this one that's coming round here, and I've got that one there. I quite like that one. So I think what I'll do is just gonna divide this up a little bit more, And then I'm going to go that's it. It looks really rough, that. That's it. If you make them all fit that space, it does look better. So now what I'm going to do is just show you there's a really simple way of just, and all we're going to do is just put some thinner lines on one side to create a three-dimensional feel, and I'm putting them as best I can in between or round about where the others are. So I'll show you what I mean now. You see? So if you wanted to, you could make that really dark there and it looks even more shaded. So it's entirely up to you. Just by putting some smaller hatching marks, you create like more depth. So that makes that 3D. And then you can just add another, again, the dots makes it look really personal. I think I need to draw, that's better, that looks more finished. And then I think about this here, got a shape here. Oh, hey, what's going on here? Oh, go away. Want me to restart the computer? I'm not. So I've made that sort of pattern similar to that so that it falls in with it. Right, okay, can you see? It's sort of a thing between. I'm going to do that one that I'm quite partial to at the moment. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. I'll start again there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Right. I'm going to do the same there as well then. So on there, 1. So it's like 5 there, so like that. So we've got like a pattern, you see it? Quite like that one now. So we've got quite a lot of like these patterns that, yeah, I've put them sort of complex and all, but I think you'll get the whole idea about it. It's about like getting a design, thinking about what you want to do, and then adding bits and bobs to it. So I've really played around with the idea of sections and together, and you see now what I can do is rub out all the lines that inside and outside of this anymore, and I can get rid of those squares. So if I just want to concentrate on colour, then I've got that option. If I want to concentrate on shape, I've got that option. You know, there's nothing to stop me sort of adding colour in the background or foreground or anything like that. So that you've got more, it's cleaner now. You've got a simpler pattern. Maybe get your pen here. And then in the background here, I'm just going to put tiny weeny circles like that, with just a and then see it's all smudged there, and then here I think of some of the designs that I've got, and I'm just going to put smaller. I don't want to put anything too heavy, but I will definitely go over all this with gold silver pen, or but I'm trying my best to get to grips with all the stuff I'm doing. Like, I want to do some more work with my pen and pencils, getting ready for my shows, so I'm doing all that. I've got it's not fair on Mark, he's need today off from at weekend, so I won't be doing one tomorrow. It's not fair because he has to creep around for ages, so I won't do one tomorrow. Plus it helps because I'm prepping. I have to do a lot of prep because the one day special I've got is it requires a lot of drying, so I've got to really make sure I've got a few days of it. I've done some and I've got it on board. I've got, is it here? Oh no, it's down there, it's on the stairs. Where I've got like lots of prep done for it, but the more the better with this sort of stuff. It looks better when you've got plenty of prep. So I've got to dry like the little containers I've done. Oh, it's really easy, Joe, really easy to master it. You know, you can, I mean, I'm looking at this now and just picking a circle and just thinking, right, well, I'll just put that around it. The only thing you've got to do is keep an eye on which circle you're using, because it's easy. So make sure you look at the number, if it's 5 or 5 mil, or is it 5.5, because it's easy to just pick one and go for it, and that might not be one you want. Can you see now how they all sort of look similar, but they're not? So this one's got like a star through it, that one's got like 2 or 3, and that one's got a bigger circle, smaller middle, but they're all looking the same. They all got that same feel. Julia's doing one. I'm doing the Pentart one. I can't do them all, but Julia's doing the Marlene one. So, yes. And I was going to do another one in between as well. I was going to do the Oakwood Archer, but they're not been able to get the shipment through, so that's put off again. That was supposed to be last week, but it was put off to this week, but it's put off to next week now, so yeah. So it's a busy, busy week. So, there we go. I'm not going to colour it in, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know what colours I want to do yet. I'm looking at it thinking, I know I'm going to do blue there, it's got to be done, and it blue background, but I'm just thinking, plus I haven't got my water here. I've got a cup, but it's got like, well, I don't know what is in it. It's certainly not water anyway. I think it was some old paste, so I can't use that. And I'm just worried about at weekend. I always get a dodgy reception, so I'll probably come online later to see how everybody is. But for the moment, I'm going to love you and leave you. I want to see, please, I'll be on later to see what you do. And you can tell me what you've done with your ideas. And then if you go over to my website, which is the Wix website, and look for Lou Withers, I keep forgetting to put a link on it. There's a gallery set up there that people can put the stuff on, which would be even nicer really, because I want to try and get the community working over there as well, not just on here. I want to sort of work that community. So I will love you and leave you. Poor Mark can walk around now without interrupting, or me interrupting. So I will see you soon. So take care, and I'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye.